So, second lecture, life choices, page 14. Let's start. So, unit 2, life choices, vocabulary, leaving school. 1. We have CD here, listening, number 14. Listen to 3 17-year-olds. These 3 17-year-olds, Joe, Gemma, and Dean. Use their names to complete the descriptions. Their names here, we write their names here. Is a sixth former, is doing a training course, and is a school leaver. Write their names here. After we listen to the CD, to recognize and to identify which is which, right? Listen and write their names.
Unit 2, Vocabulary, Exercise 1.
Joe here. I want to go to university and do a business studies degree. I think further education is really important, so it was obvious I had to stay on at school. So I'm in the sixth form doing A-levels, and it's a lot of fun.
All right.
Hi, I'm Gemma. My exam results weren't that good, but my mum convinced me to enroll on a training course to work in the hotel industry. It's a sandwich course. I go to college 2 days a week, and the other 3 days I'm on a placement in a local hotel. I'm really enjoying it so far.
My name's Dean. I left school in June this year. I want to be a mechanic, so I'm going to apply for an apprenticeship at the car factory. I like the idea of doing an apprenticeship because you can learn on the job. For now, I'm helping my uncle at his garage to get some work experience. It's okay, but I want to get a job and earn some real money.
Right. So number 1, the one who was speaking in number 1, it was Joe. Joe, this one, this girl. Joe is a sixth former. Right. Number 2, it was Gemma. Gemma is doing a training course. 3, it was Dean. Dean is a school leaver. He left school. Number 2, which of people in 1 mentions, who here has said or mentioned a sandwich course? His name, who is it? 2, who mentioned or talked about a degree? 3, who talked about work experience? Right? We listen again and we write their names here according to these questions. Listen and write.
Unit 2, Vocabulary, Exercise 1.
Joe here. I want to go to university and do a business studies degree. I think further education is really important, so it was obvious I had to stay on at school. So I'm in the sixth form doing A-levels, and it's a lot of fun. Hi, I'm Gemma. My exam results weren't that good, but my mum convinced me to enroll on a training course to work in the hotel industry. It's a sandwich course. I go to college 2 days a week, and the other 3 days I'm on a placement in a local hotel. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Gemma, yeah.
My name's Dean. I left school in June this year. I want to be a mechanic, so I'm going to apply for an apprenticeship at the car factory. I like the idea of doing an apprenticeship because you can learn on the job. For now, I'm helping my uncle at his garage to get some work experience. It's okay, but I want to get a job and earn some real money.
Right, so that was Dean. He talked about work experience and sandwich course. Who talked about sandwich course? It's Gemma. Gemma. She talked about sandwich course. A degree, it was Joe. She mentioned that she wants to get a degree. Right. Number 3. Listen here. Listen to Joe. This one. Gemma, this one, and Dean here. How are their lives different now to when they were at school? Now they want to talk about the differences between now, their life now, and their life when they were in a school. Write the similarities. Sometimes things are similar to the past, and things sometimes is different. And one difference for each person. Similarities here, and a difference or differences here. For Joe here, her life now what's the same as in the past, what's different to the past or from the past. Jama, what is the same and what's different. Din, what's the same and what's different. You write them here. Right? We listen.
Unit 2. Vocabulary. Exercise 3.
Life in the sixth form's pretty good. We're more independent than we used to be at school. We have free periods and can go out of the school to get our lunch. Some of the teachers are the same as when I was in secondary, but they treat us differently in sixth form. I like it. What's different about vocational training? Let me see. Well, the biggest difference is when I'm at the hotel on my placement. I have to talk to adults a lot and be polite to them, especially the clients at the hotel. Also, I have to be quite organised and remember to take my uniform when I'm going to the hotel. I couldn't believe it when they said we had to wear uniforms. It was like being back at school again.
That's the same, uniform.
I still have to get up early every morning, of course, like at school. But I suppose what's really changed is that I don't have so many friends or other people of my age around me. I miss that. But there are some really good things too. Like I can wear what I want, don't have to wear a uniform or anything, and I can have my lunch whenever I want.
Right. Sorry. So, for Joe, the similarities here. For Joe, same teachers. Differences for Joe, more independence, free periods, and can leave school for lunch. Jama, similarities. She has to wear a uniform to work. The same as in the school, to wear a uniform. Differences or a difference. Talk to adults. Be polite. What else? And be more organized. Dean, similarities or similar thing. Get up early. He still has to get up early. Difference or differences. Fewer friends, or he has fewer friends. What else? No uniform. No uniform in a garage. Yeah. And what else? And he can eat what I want or what he wants. Exercise 4. Complete the speech bubbles below with words from the box. These words here: vocational training, apprenticeship, vacancies, A-levels. We write them here in these bubbles. Number 1. A student said, I've decided to stay on at school to take what? A-levels. We write A-levels here. Number 2, another person is saying, my mom convinced me to enroll on a vocational training course. I want to learn to be a hotel manager. 3, someone is saying there aren't any vacancies. Vacancies, yani jobs. So there aren't any vacancies at the moment, and hundreds of people apply for each one. 4. All right. Someone is saying some companies take on school leavers to do what? Here, apprenticeship. They are great. You get paid, you get money when you or while you learn. So you get money while you learn, right? Exercise 5. Match now the blue words here. These blue words here, you see them in the speech bubbles to synonyms, the same meaning. Explanation for these words or expressions. What do they mean with other words? Now, number 1, request. Which one of these blue words is the same as request? Apply for. We write apply for. This one. So this one, apply for, here it's the same as request. 2, join. What's the same as join? The same as enroll on. Enroll on. Which one? This one. Enroll on. So enroll on is the same as join. 3, remain. Remain, the same as stay on. This one. Stay on. We write stay on here is the same as remain. 4, recruit is the same as take on. Take on. This one. Take on. We write it here. Take on is the same as recruit here. Right, what else? Now culture, let's read some of this. In Britain, the last 2 years of school are called sixth form. Pre-university qualifications are called A-levels. School-based preparation for work is called vocational training. Work-based training of young employees is called an apprenticeship. Right? Okay. And here, phrase bank, some expressions and words that we have used here in these exercises on this page. Next page. Sorry. Speaking. Talking about choices. Students, when they want to talk about choices. 1. Read the school subjects here in the phrase bank. These are the subjects that students study in a school, maybe in English schools, but not all of them in Libyan schools. Maybe some of them here in the phrase bank. The question, which are compulsory and which are optional for you in Libya here. You have a look at these subjects and tick the one you think is, let's say, compulsory, and cross the one which is optional, or the opposite. The optional, you tick it. The compulsory, you cross it. Compulsory means you have to study it. Optional means you can study it or you can leave it and take another subject. Of course, in our secondary schools, we don't have this kind of system. All the subjects are compulsory. But in a university, sometimes we have compulsory subjects in a department, and some subjects are optional. Right? Exercise 2, we have listening. Listen to two friends here, Alex and Rona. Complete or compare their school experiences. Complete the table for them. We listen and we write the answer. The question is, first, we read questions. Who studies 9 subjects? 9 subjects. Is it Alex or Rona? You tick. And then, who studies 4 subjects? Is it Alex or Rona? You tick the answer. Who is studying humanities? Tick the one. Who wants to take business studies? You tick the one. Is it Alex or Rona? Listen and tick.
Unit 2. Speaking. Exercise 2. So, Rona, what subjects are you doing for Bachillerato?
I think it's a bit different in our school.
Oh, yeah? So, how does it work in your school then?
Well, we have classes in both Spanish and English, but we really follow the British system.
That's so strange. Your school is in Madrid, but you still follow the British system. Does that mean you do British exams and stuff?
Yeah, we did GCSEs last year at the end of secondary, and now we're doing AS levels.
I thought it was A-levels.
Well, we do AS level exams in the first year of sixth form and A levels next year, but both are really important for getting into university, so we have to work hard.
Why is that?
Well, say you want to do a business studies degree, like I do at uni. The university tells you what grades you need to get in your A levels in order to get a place there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, and one other thing I forgot to say. Another difference is that we only do 4 subjects.
What? We have to do 9.
I know, we're lucky. Anyway, how does it work in the Spanish system?
Alex, now?
Well, last year we had to choose if we wanted to stay on to do Bachillerato, that's like your sixth form, or do Modulos.
Hang on, what are Modulos?
It's like vocational training. You can train for a specific job. A friend of mine, for example, wants to be a nurse, so she's doing a modulo in health studies.
Okay, so what if you don't do Modulos?
Well, in Bachillerato, there are some compulsory subjects we all have to do, like PE, Spanish language, English, philosophy.
Philosophy?
Yeah, 3 hours a week.
Wow.
And then you have to choose an option, the sciences, humanities, or arts branch. And again, there are some subjects you have to do.
So you have compulsory subjects and optional subjects. How does that work? I mean, We can just choose whichever ones we want.
Okay. Take my friend Jimena, for example. She's doing sciences, so she had to take maths, physics, and chemistry. No choice. They're compulsory. But then she can either do biology or technical drawing plus one more option.
And you? Which subjects are you doing?
Listen.
Oh, I'm useless at science. I want to be a primary school teacher, so I've opted for humanities. I had to do Greek, Latin, and history, and then I could choose between French, ICT, and history of music.
Okay. So which did you choose?
French.
French? You're crazy.
Right. Let's just start it again. Now, who is studying or who studies 9 subjects? It's Alex. And who studies 4 subjects? It's Rona. And who is studying humanities? It's Alex. And who wants to take business studies? It's Rona. Exercise 3, after we have listened to the CD, are the statements true? We write T, or false? We write F. Number 1, Rona thinks the British and Spanish systems are similar. After listening, it's false. Right? She doesn't say similar. She said, I think they are different. Not similar, different. So this sentence is false. 2, Alex has official exams this year. It's false. Not official exams. Alex said he had to choose between modules and baccalaureate. So false. 3, there are compulsory A-level subjects. There are compulsory A-level subjects. False. Right? Rona said, she said, we can't choose. Not there are compulsory A-level subjects. False. Right? 4, maths, physics, and chemistry are compulsory for Jimena or Jimena. He said my friend Jimena, but it's written with J here. Alex talked about this girlfriend, right? He said are compulsory for her, these subjects. True, he said that, true, he mentioned that. 4a, match the 2 parts of the expressions here. 1, how does it, what do we say to complete the question? Look at D, how does it work in your school? We write D here. How does it work in your school? 2, you have to, look at C, you have to choose an option. You have to choose, so we write here C. 3, you can train, look at A, you can train for a specific job. We write A here. 4, I've opted for B. Write B here. I've opted for humanities. It means I've chosen to study humanities. 4B, listening, we check.
Unit 2, speaking, exercise 4B. 1,
How does it work in your school?
2,
You have to choose an option.
3,
You can train for a specific job.
4,
I've opted for humanities.
Right. Number 5, read part of what Alex and Rona said. Complete the dialogue with words from the box here. Missing words, and it's on the CD as well. R, it means Rona. Okay, take my friend Hemna or Jemna, for example. She's doing sciences. So, she had to take maths, physics, and chemistry. So, that's let's say, Rona said that, not Alex. Okay. So, she had to take maths, physics, and chemistry. No choice. They are compulsory. But, then she can either do biology or technical drawing, plus one more option. One more option. Hey, Alex, and you? Which subjects are you doing? Which subjects are you doing means which subjects are you studying? Rona, she said, I am useless at science. So I want to be what? Primary. I want to be a primary school teacher. So I have opted, here we say, I have opted for humanities. I had to do Greek, Latin, and history. And then I could choose between French, ICT, and history of music. Right? A, Alex? Okay, so which did you choose? R, Rona, French. A, Alex, French? You are crazy. Right. Number 6, exercise number 6. It says here, rewrite the dialogue so that's true for you and a friend. Have a conversation with your partner. So you practice this with a classmate or with a friend and try to do similar dialogue, changing things which is suitable to you. Pronunciation. Initial S. A. Read the phrases aloud. How do you pronounce the words in blue? A business studies degree. A business studies degree. The Spanish system. A specific type of job she is doing here. She is doing health studies and so on. Listen to the pronunciation.
Unit 2. Pronunciation. Exercise B.
A business studies degree. The Spanish system. A specific type of job. She's doing health studies.
Right. The pronunciation of the letter S. Alright, next page. So we carry on with listening page. Careers advice. Advice about jobs. Number 1, listen to an interview between a careers advisor. This man, he is a careers advisor. It means he gives advice about careers or about jobs. And a sixth form student. This student, she is a sixth former or sixth form student. Last 2 years in a secondary school. Right. Answer the questions. We read the questions first and then we write the answers after we listen to the CD. 1. Why does the advisor, this one, ask Tara about her interests, things that she's interested in? Why? 2. What kind of career does he think would suit Tara? What kind of career or what kind of job in future would be better or would suit her? Right? And you can carry on also with other questions here in exercise 2. Listen and write.
Unit 2. Listening. Exercises 1 and 2. So Tara, have you decided what you want to do next year?
I'm not too sure, really.
Okay. Well, last time you were thinking about studying architecture. How are you getting on with your GCSEs?
Okay. I'm quite good at English, maths and art, but I'm useless at history and I hate physics. I just can't see the point.
Well, I'm afraid you should do physics A-level if you want to do architecture at uni.
I think I've had enough of physics, and anyway, I don't think I'll pass. Maybe architecture isn't really for me.
Okay. Well, it's a good idea to think about all the options. Let's look at some other possibilities. What do you like doing in your free time?
Well, tennis and going out with my mates.
Anything else?
Well, I'm really into photography. I've got a small camera just now, but I'm saving up so I can buy a new digital reflex camera.
Okay, so English, maths, art and photography. Maybe something like advertising?
Sounds okay. So how could I do that?
Well, whatever you decide, you should go on into the sixth form and do A-levels. You can just leave when you're 16, but I wouldn't recommend it. Advertising is very competitive, and your qualifications are going to be important.
No, definitely.
But when you leave school, there are different possibilities. You could combine some type of vocational training with work experience.
I don't know. I think my mum and dad really want me to go to university.
Well, some universities offer specific degree courses in advertising and marketing.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. In that case, I think you should take a look at these websites. They give more information about the different courses on offer.
Okay, great.
Why don't you have a think about it and maybe come back and see me next Wednesday and we can talk some more?
Okay, fine. See you next week.
Right. After we have listened to the CD, now we can answer questions 1 and question 2. So question 1. Why does the advisor here ask Tara about her interests, about her hobbies? Why? We can say because hobbies, like photography, are relevant to a career choice or a career choice. So hobbies can be relevant to a job choice or about choosing a job, right? It can be. 2. What kind of a career or what kind of a job does the advisor think would suit Tara at the end? He analyzes what kind of a job? Advertising. The answer is advertising. He thought that advertising can be suitable or competitive for Tara. CD2, exercise 2, CD same number 18, I think. Listen again and choose the correct answer. So you can listen again and choose the correct answer for 1. Tara doesn't like any subjects at school, or Tara likes some subjects but not others, or Tara likes all her school subjects. What did she say? Tara likes some subjects but not others. The answer is B, circle B. 2. Tara wants to buy a video camera in the future, or B, doesn't have a camera now, or C, she said, is saving to buy a better camera. What did Tara say? Tara said she is saving to buy a better camera. 3, so we circle this. 3, Tara wants to do a vocational training, or B, Tara wants to look for a job after school, or Tara knows her parents want her to go to university. What did she say? She said that she knows, this one we circle it, knows her parents want her to go to university. Number 4, Mr. Lee, this one, Mr. Lee, the advisor, asks Tara to make a decision or to go home, or asked her to come back to talk about it some more. At the end he said, well, this one, C, we circle it. Mr. Lee asks Tara to come back to talk about it more or some more. This is the answer for this. 3. Work in pairs, that means you look for a classmate or one of your friends or colleagues. Discuss the pros and cons. Pros means here the advantages, good things. And cons here it means bad points, right? Or disadvantages of the sources of careers advice below. Yeah? When you look for a piece of advice, right? You can look for advice from different sources. So each source here, right, give us the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. Use the expressions in the useful language box here. When you talk about these, you can use these words and phrases and sentences to say your opinion. Right. Number 1, researching options on the internet. If you research about something good or not good for you on the internet, what do you think? This has pros and has cons. What's the pros for this? You write about it here down or in your copybook. And what's the cons for this? 2, talking to a careers advisor like this one. The pros, advantages for this and disadvantages for this. 3, talking to your parents or other family members about jobs or about careers. What do you think? It has pros and cons. Write about them. 4, talking to your friends. It has pros and cons. Think and write. 5, doing a test to evaluate your suitability for different jobs. Doing a test to test yourself in different jobs or in different skills in English, in talking, in physics and so on, to evaluate your suitability for different jobs. Write the pros and cons for this. 6, doing the same job your parents do. Try to do or to work in a same field or to be as your father or as your mother. Maybe it has pros and cons. Write about them here. Culture. A careers advisor helps students to decide or deciding what to do after secondary school, after they finish secondary school. Like this one, like Mr. Lee. Right? Let's just stop here. See you in the second or in the following lecture. Here we carry on. Unit 2. Functional language. Advice. Number 1. Look at the words and the phrases in the phrase bank. Here we have phrases and we have words like here that we should use to answer different exercises. Now complete the table here, or tables. Complete the table with the expressions from here. Now there is one done for you here. Now when asking for information, what do you say if you want to ask for information? From here we have the answer. How are you getting on with? How are you getting on with? What else to ask for information? We can say, for example, what do you like doing in your free time? Yeah. What do you like doing in your free time? What do you like doing in your free time? Right. Now saying what you like, or what you are good at, or what you are bad at. What do you say? We can say, for example, I'm useless at. What else? We can say, I think I've had enough of something. What else? Like doing, or you like something. For example, we can say, I'm really into, it means I like something. What else? We can say, I'm quite good at. When you are bad at something, or you don't like something, we can say, I hate so and so. Making suggestions, 2 points from the list here. We can say, maybe something like, you suggest here. What else? Why don't you have a think about it? Why don't you have a think about it? You suggest here. Reacting to a suggestion. Now, let's say someone suggested something and you should react. You should reply to that suggestion. What should you say? Choose from the list here. We can say here, sounds okay. Sounds okay. Here, sounds okay. What else? To react to a suggestion, we can say, I don't know. It's a reaction to a suggestion. What else? Cool. It means it's nice or it's good. What else? Okay. That means you react here. Right? Giving advice. If you would like to give advice to someone, what should you say? We choose from the list here. We can have the answer here. You should do. Saying you should do. That means you should do. It means you give advice here. What else? Another expression to give an advice. It's a good idea to. Here it sounds that you give advice. It's a good idea to you give advice here. What else? Saying something is not a good idea. An expression or a sentence here. I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend. It's here. I wouldn't recommend. It means you are saying something which is not a good idea to do it. Exercise 2. Complete sentences here. The sentences. So they are true for you. About yourself. What should you say? Number 1. I'm quite good at what? Complete. About yourself. True sentences. For example, I'm quite good at languages, or I'm quite good at English, or I'm quite good at French, or I am quite good at physics or maths, or I'm quite good at physics, or I'm quite good at let's say football, and so on. 2. My best friend is really into means he likes or she likes something. My best friend is really into sport. For example. 3. I had enough of something. You don't want to have more of it. So I'd had enough of languages, for example. I don't want to study more languages. So I'm not studying it this year, for example. 4. If you want to be, let's say, a teacher, here we talk about a profession, which means a job. You should study teaching. 5. If you are into football, for example, it's a good idea to join a club, and so on. 3. Working birds. One of you will be a careers advisor, like Mr. Lee in previous page. One is a careers advisor, gives advice, and the other is a student in a secondary school, right? Looking for advice to know what to study and what to be in future. Use expressions from number 1 here for your interview, right? When you react, you reply. When you want to ask, you can use the expressions from the list here, right? So student A, you are a careers advisor. First, write 4 or 5 questions you could ask. So prepare yourself as an interviewer or as a careers advisor. Prepare yourself, write 4 or 5 questions to ask a student about. You could ask in order to find out about student B's abilities and plans. And then you suggest, you give advice. Right. Student B, you are a student. Think of 2 subjects, you are good at. Prepare yourself to say this. You are good at 2 subjects. You will mention them. You are good at 2 that you dislike, you hate. You are not good at 2 other subjects. And 2 things you do in your free time. 2 things you do in your free time when you are free. Ask student A for a careers advice. You ask the careers advisor for advice. Pronunciation. So, good at. It finishes or ends with the sound D, which is a consonant, and at starts with a vowel. So, good at. Word linking. Instead of saying good at, we can say good at. A. Listen to the blue words in the phrases below here. Can you hear 2 words or just 1? Here, I'm good at or I'm good at. 2 words or just 1 word. I'm good at English or I'm good at English. And here, I'm useless at or I'm useless at physics. I've had enough of, or I've had enough of physics. It's a or it's a good idea, or it's a good idea. Have a think or have a think. Have a think about it. Listen and then decide. Listen.
Unit 2. Pronunciation. Exercise A.
I'm good at English.
Good at.
I'm useless at physics.
Useless at.
I've had enough of physics.
Enough of.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Have a think about it.
Have a think about it. Not have a. Not have a. Have a think about it. B. Practice linking the final and initial sound. The final and initial sound. In each pair of these words or these expressions or these phrases, try to practice saying that. Right? Let's go to the next page. Here, final task, an interview. 1. Work in pairs. Read the advert. This is the advert, or what we call it advertisement in full. Read the advert. When you finish, close your book and tell your partner what you remember. Let me read it for you. It's an advertisement or an advert in a newspaper. They want to employ someone in this place. Let's read about it. CampSir needs. CampSir, this is the name or the title for let's say a camp, right? It's called CampSir, right? They have guests from different countries and they want someone to work with them. So CampSir needs you. It means it's your chance to come and work there. Here, CampSir based in a village, which is in a village near Salamanca, which is in Spain, small town in Spain, will welcome young people aged 15 to 18 from Britain, Holland, Denmark and Germany. So this camp, they will have guests of young people. They are aged between 15 to 18 from different European countries. The time during the month of July. Now, they want what? Young people, another person who must be young also, same age, of the same age, whose first language is Spanish. So they want someone who speaks Spanish, and his first language, his mother tongue, must be Spanish. Right. Why? To take part in the camp, to work in the camp, right? All you have to do, so your work is what? To speak Spanish. You just speak during all meal times. So when they have their meals, these people, you come and talk to them. And social activities, also when they practice a sport or they go outside camping or visiting places or going to the sea, you let's say you go with them and talk to them in Spanish. So that means they are in Spain and they want to practice their Spanish language. We offer, they'll give you what? If you agree to work with them, we offer free board and accommodation. Accommodation, a place for living. Free board means 3 meals. You take 3 meals: breakfast, lunch and dinner for free. What else? Free participation. You don't pay money when you want to share or to participate in a range of sporting and social activities. When these people, they go to practice sport or go to the cinema or theater or something, you don't pay money, for free. The opportunity to meet other teenagers from a range of European countries. So it's your chance to meet teenagers from other European countries. If you are interested in this, what you do? You should go to have an interview. Interviews at the Hotel Vista Cipelsa or something like that in Madrid. The time April 10th of April and 11th. So 10th and 11th of April. Now we start the exercise 2. Now listen to an interview with a candidate. So now we have a candidate, a person, male or female, a girl or boy. Must be a girl here. She seems to be interested in this advertisement for the job at the camp at Camp Sur. We listen to the CD. How does she talk? And then we answer these questions. Question 1: what impression did she give? What impression did she give to the interviewer, the one who's asking her? 2: how did the interviewer feel about the girl or about the candidate? 3: what advice? Now you should give her advice, the candidate. What advice would you give the candidate? Let's listen to her, and then we come and answer these 3 questions. Listen.
Unit 2. Final task. Exercise 2.
So, Maria, can you start by telling me about your studies? I'm doing humanities. I'm sorry, I don't know too much about the Spanish system. Could you tell me a bit about it? Well, you can do sciences or humanities. I'm doing humanities. I see. And what do you want to do after you finish school? I don't know. No plans. Are you thinking of going on to university or looking for a job straight after school? I don't know. University, I guess. To study? I don't know, really. Okay. And what do you do in your free time? The usual. Going out with my friends, going on 20, you know. No hobbies? Sports? Well, I play basketball sometimes. Basketball? Fantastic. Well, no. I'm useless at basketball, really. Okay. So, tell me, Maria, why are you interested in coming to Camp Sur? I don't know. My mom said it was a good idea. I see. And what do you think you can offer the camp? I don't know. Talk to people, I guess? Right. So, finally, Maria, have you got any questions about the camp? Yes. So, how much free time will I have? And, like, do we get paid? And is there Wi-Fi access? And what about the food? Will there...
As we see here at the beginning, she wasn't good at the interview. She gave a lot of answers. I don't know. Seems to be she is not prepared well for the interview. What else? She gave short answers. She didn't give detailed answers to show that she's interested in the interview or in the job itself. Okay, anyway, questions. 1. What impression did she give here, the girl, Maria? Actually, she gave impression of being uninterested in her, let's say, in her responses, right? Not interested in her responses. And at the end she admitted that it was her mother's idea to come here. It's not her idea, as if she is not interested in the job itself. 2. How did the interviewer feel about the candidate now, the woman? How did she feel? Actually, she sounded that she was frustrated, right? She was a bit frustrated with Maria. Right? 3. What advice, now if we ask you, give her advice, give Maria advice, what advice would you give this candidate in future? Right? In future, she should show more interest in the job and in the interviewer's questions, and give longer answers in details, and avoid saying I don't know, try to say something, right? Strategy. Choose an option to complete the advice for interview candidates. Now if you are going to an interview, when talking about yourself in an interview, what should you say? 1. Express an interest in the interview's questions, or don't express. Of course we circle this. Express an interest. 2. Give or avoid giving short 1 or 2 word answers. Of course avoid, circle this. Avoid giving short 1 or 2 word answers. 3. Use or avoid using the phrases like I don't know. Avoid using the phrase I don't know. It's not suitable in an interview. Exercise 3. Work in pairs to carry out, to do something like an interview with your friend or with your classmate for a job, an interview for a job like the one at Camp Sur. Follow the instructions below. So 1 student is a candidate and 1 student is an interviewer. Student A, you work for Camp Sur, so here student A is the interviewer, the one who works for a Camp Sur. Ask questions like about what the candidate is doing at school now, the academic choices the candidate has made, and ask about the candidate's future plans for study or work. Ask about the candidate's interests and hobbies. Ask about why the candidate is interested in working at Camp Sur. Now student B must be the candidate, the one who is interested in the job. You are a candidate for a place at Camp Sur. Prepare to give information about, prepare yourself. Give information about your studies now and in the past. Give information about your future plans for study and work. Give information about your hobbies and interests, and why you are interested in working at Camp Sur, and what you can offer to Camp Sur, and any questions you have about the camp. You do that, practice that at home. It's a good idea to practice your English and to prepare yourself for interviews. Right, next page. Vocabulary, review 2, vocabulary. Number 1, write the words in logical sequence. There may be more than one possible answer. 1. We have sixth form, university, primary school, work, secondary school. Which one we start first? We give it number 1, or we start with it. We write it first. So we can say primary school comes number 1. We give it number 1 and we write it here. Number 2 is secondary school. So after primary school, secondary school, we give it 2. Number 3 is sixth form. Sixth form comes at the end of a secondary school. We give it a 3. Number 4 is university. Number 5 after university, it is work. 2. Now another exercise to give it a sequence. Do a degree, leave school, do a subject, have a career, pass an exam. Which we start with? Number 1, do a subject, you study. Do a subject first. Number 2, pass an exam. Of course, at the end of the year or a semester, you pass the exam. This is number 2. Number 3, leave school. Leave school, you finish and leave the school. Number 4, you do a degree. you get your degree, certificate. This is number 4. Number 5, you do a degree. For example, you do a degree at university, you get a degree. Number 5, have a career. Have a career means you get a job. After you do a degree at university, you have a career, you get a job. 2, cross out the odd one out in each group. The odd one means the different word which doesn't belong to the group. Number 1, careers advisor, school leaver and teacher. 3 words. One of them is strange or different. It's a school leaver. Why? Because this is a student. But careers advisor and teacher, they are teachers, must be teachers. But this one is a student. So we circle it. 2, vocational training, work experience, and 6th form. Which one is different? 6th form. 6th form. 6th form, this one is different. The odd one. We cancel it. We circle it. Right? So vocational training and work experience, this is for job, for work. 6th form, this is a study in a secondary school, based secondary school. But these two, not in a secondary school, no. 3, degree, optional, compulsory. Which one is different? Degree. Degree is different. It's a certificate. But optional, this is an adjective for subjects, for example, that you choose from. Compulsory, this is an adjective for example, for subjects that you have to study, you must study. 4, so we circle degree, okay? Number 4, 6th form, further education or university. Which one is odd one or strange or different? 6th form. 6th form is different, right? Further education, it's after secondary school. University after secondary school. But 6th form, it's secondary school itself. So it's not the same. 3, we are listening. Listen and number the items in order you hear them. Now we have careers advisor, vocational training, secondary school, A-levels, compulsory. He will talk about one of these. The first one he talks about, give it 1. The second one he talks about, give it 2. And the third, 3, and the fourth thing, 4, and so on. Listen.
Unit 2. Review. Exercise 3. 1. In Britain, you do these exams when you're 18, before you go to university.
1.
2. It's a person who helps you decide what to study or gives you information about finding a job.
2.
3. It's the school you go to after primary school and before 6th form.
This is number 3.
4. It's an adjective we use to say that something is obligatory. You have to do it.
4. This is 4.
5. This is a type of education which is directly related to a particular area of work.
This is number 5. Okay. Exercise 4. Write the words in order to complete the subject definitions. Right? So first we put them in order. Right? It's about a subject at school. Write a subject for each definition. Right? 1. In this subject, what do we say? Sorry, we start with students. We can say students. Number 1, students, and then number 2, students in this subject, or in this subject, students learn. We choose. Okay? Or we say students in this subject learn altogether. Right, yeah. Students, this is number 1. 2, in this subject learn, this is number 2. Learn about, this is number 3. So, students in this subject learn about what? Number 4. How, this is number 4. How computers, this is 5. Work, this is number 6. So the whole of the sentence here, students in this subject learn about how computers work. Right? Now, what's the name for this subject here? We should say, what's the name of subject when students learn about how computers work? Right. we can find it here in this list. It must be ICT, Information and Computer Technology, ICT. We write ICT after giving numbers. 2. Now these are words, we put them in order. We start with number 1, teachers. Teachers. What else? Teachers, this subject. Teachers, right? Alright, we can say this subject, we start from here, this subject teaches, or this subject how the economic system functions. So this subject teaches how the system, how the economic system functions. This subject teaches how the economic system functions. Again, this subject, there must be a slash here, something missing, yeah, there must be a slash here, right, it is a mistake here, there must be a slash. So this subject teaches, and then how the economic system functions. Again, this subject teaches how the economic system functions. What's the name for this subject? Which teaches how the system or the economic system functions. We can take it from here, right? Check here, you find it here, right? It's one of these, right? Business study, or chemistry, or maths, or biology. So it must be business studies. Business studies. This is the answer for the subject that teaches how the economic system functions. 3. In this subject, there must be a slash, or in this subject, altogether, students of physics and so on. What do we start with? We start with, in this subject, students, so in this subject, students learn about the physical exercise. Again, in this subject, students learn about the importance of physical exercise. Again, in this subject, students learn about the importance of physical exercise. Again, in this subject, students learn about importance of physical exercise. What do we call this subject about physical exercise? Is here PE, physical exercise, or physical education, sorry, physical education, PE. We have this subject in a school. 4. This subject about on students, teachers, and their. How to start it? We start with this subject teaches students. This subject teaches students about their own society. Again, this subject teaches students about their own society. What do we call this subject in a school? We write it here. We call it, what is it? Citizenship. Here, citizenship. We write it here, citizenship. After we give numbers, we write the name of the subject here, citizenship. All right, good. Now, pronunciation, 5A. Mark the words that link together. 1. I work in a school. 2. I'm not a teacher. 3. I hate exams. 4. Have a talk about it. Listen, and we check. Sorry, listen.
Unit 2. Review. Exercise 5B. 1.
I work in a school.
2.
I'm not a teacher.
3.
I hate exams.
4.
Have a talk about it.
Right. It's a kind of procedure when we speak. We call it linking when we talk. Right? Functional language. 6. Read the task here, task box, and complete the conversation. The task box here. After a term studying sciences, Julia, she studied sciences, decided she doesn't like it. After finishing a semester, for example, or a term, she decided that she doesn't like this kind of study about sciences. She asks her best friend for advice. Write a dialogue between Julia and her best friend using the phrase bank to help you. The phrase bank here and here. Yeah, you check here. The phrase bank is here for this exercise. Right? Take your pen. You create a dialogue between Julia and her friend. Julia is asking for advice and her friend is giving her advice. What should Julia say? Choose from here, and you can go to practice 2 pages for that similar dialogues about giving advice and replying for an advice and so on. Write a dialogue, create, practice, and that's the end for Unit 2, 4th lecture. Let's go to the next page and have a look. Yeah, here we have the answer page, the answer key for Unit 2. Unit 2, vocabulary, page 10. Here are the answers. Number 1, exercise 1, 1, 2, 3. Exercise 2, 1, 2, 3. Exercise 3, exercise 4, 5. And then speaking, page 11. Exercise 1 and 2 and 3. And here, exercise 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then exercise 4, 5, 6. And then listening, page 12. The answers for exercise 1, 2 and 3. And then functional language, page 13. Exercise 1, these are the answers. And then exercise 2, final task, page 14. These are the answers here. And then the last page that we have just finished now review, page 15. That's the answers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Right? So thank you very much. That's the end for Unit 2, 4th lecture. Thank you very much. See you. Goodbye.